opponent?
Well, they're off to a pretty good start, you know, and they could have easily won against Drake and had every opportunity to. And games are close. I haven't watched the two games in which they score 115 and 105 or whatever in those two games, but you know, they play very similar to us, and they got some length to them, and all of them, at least statistically, can shoot the basketball because they all shoot threes. Some of them haven't shot a great percentage yet, but they all shoot them. So we're going to have to defend all 5 spots.
So, Bill, about a quarter into the season, if you were scouting your own team, what would be your evaluation?
Well, we do scout our own team, so I think that's a fair question. I would say pretty sound defensively. I would say we've been decent, a decent rebounding team. Not great, but probably just about above average. I think that winning the most important possessions, I think we've been pretty good at that. I think offensively we're just getting consistent, and it's not so much from shooting the ball. It's just we don't get as many attempts as what I like because we turn it over too much. But I would say you eliminate passing, which is actually a pretty vital part of the game. I think that we've actually, you know, been pretty good on both ends. Not great, but pretty good. And I think the one thing that remains to be seen is how we react in pressure situations, because we've been in 2, and one we didn't do very well, and the other we did very well. So we need to have some more of those.
What's going to be the key for you guys when you have those situations, numbers and positions?
I've never seen anybody that's as athletic and as talented as what our guys are screw up more 2-on-1s and 3-on-2s. It's unbelievable. We'd be scoring 6 more points a game if we were just pretty good at converting, let alone being really good. You know, I think there's a lot of things. I think Dot has to become a better lob passer. That's what we play to, and we don't throw it. I think Ochai, you know, needs to be attack the rim more and not be so much a passer in transition and be a finisher. And then I think obviously we put our bigs. How many times we throw the ball to our bigs in bad situations and hang them out to dry? I just think we got to understand the game a little bit better. But I mean, those are things that are correctable. But certainly early in the season, that would be something I would think we'd be better at than what we are.
You mentioned rebounding. You weren't happy with your bigs the other night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think that we're a bad rebounding team, but I don't think they attack the ball. You know, the first basket they made in the game, we had 3 guys go after the ball, and one of them was kind of a half-ass effort, and happened to be a guy about 7 foot that weighs about 260 pounds, and he waited on the guard to get it. And so when the guard couldn't get it, it was a loose ball, and they ended up shooting the 3 and making it. Well, that's a ball that your big guy has to forget about the guard getting it. I told our guys, I remember Thomas Robinson used to want to fight a guy that on a free throw miss, if anybody else ever got the rebound, that was his way to pad his stats. And if a guard ever went in there and took his ball, no, he would be, I mean, visibly mad at him. Our big guys don't think like that. So I hope that we start doing that. That's the thing that we need to be doing as much as anything.
Hey, what's your evaluation of Christian so far?
Christian
Brown, yeah.
I think he's done fine. I don't think he's had as many opportunities as what I probably would have liked to have given him. I think he's been averaging about 8 minutes a game, something like that, and that's not enough time to get comfortable. I think he's going to be a really good player. I think that the game's a lot faster than what it was for him in high school, obviously, and he'd be the first to tell you that. But the thing that he can really do is shoot. And he hadn't gotten very many open looks, and he hadn't probably played to that strength as much. And the other thing is he's great at getting loose balls. Not good, great. And he hasn't been as active doing that, too, because I think he's just trying to not screw up. So I'm pleased with him. I think he's going to be a really good player. But my evaluation is incomplete because I haven't given him as many opportunities as what he probably deserves.
You've described this team as tough. which
At
is kind of
times, yeah.
early for
yeah,
you.
well, at
Usually
times.
comes in January.
Yeah, I thought we were tough in Maui and tough against Dayton. And tough doesn't necessarily mean playing. Tough is, you play 37 and 35, and then 20 hours later you play 45. To me, that's pretty tough. And then being mentally tough enough to finish the game. So I think we've done some things to show that we are, but toughness is Frank and Devontae. Toughness is when you're down 3 or 4 minutes left and they think, okay, now it's going to get fun. I don't know that we have that mindset quite yet, but I do think physically and everything, I think we do enjoy not allowing other people to play well. So that's definitely a form of it.
Chad said this the other day, and a lot of coaches you face are the same way. They're so impressed by your consistency as a program here and under you. This is the last game of the decade in Allen Fieldhouse for you guys.
I want to be emotional.
No, I know you're not, but do you? I mean, when you look back and you think about that, is that the one thing that jumps out? Just consistency, or
over time?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's one thing that I think that our programs and teams, wherever we've been, that's one thing we've taken pride in for a long time. I think there's some things that you can really improve on. There's a lot of teams that can do this, and then if you peak at the right time, you can still win it all. And there's a lot of teams that just kind of do this, and if you peak at the right time, you still have a shot. I think we've been more one of these teams, but I think sometimes when you have teams that spike, those teams that show that they can play at this level, this is their ceiling. And sometimes when teams are just consistently good, the ceiling isn't sometimes where other teams can spike to. And so I think we get kind of, if that makes any sense at all, I think we get kind of caught with a bum rap sometimes that we maybe underachieved in some certain areas. I don't think that's happened a lot. I think it has happened some. It happens to everybody. But I think it's because we've been pretty consistent that people expect us to play at the highest level when basically over the course of time we pretty much have played at our highest level for the most part. So and it's not always true. We got to obviously get better in the NCAA tournament and have more deep runs, even though we've had a lot, but have more deep runs. But I am proud of the consistency factor, and I think there's certain things that go into that, and it's that way with many programs across America.
I think this is the 158th game here of the decade. Any idea what your record is? Any guess?
Well, we've had a decent run. We couldn't have lost more than 5, have we?
150 and 7.
Oh, we have lost more than 5. So 150 and 7 in this decade.
Yeah,
so
pretty good.
That's pretty good. And there's a lot of things that go into that, though. Good players and pretty good atmosphere, that helps too.
Is Silvio on an uptick?
I thought he did fine the other day, but he hadn't had a chance to play enough to really probably gather momentum yet. But he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine.
Is he more patient than most players would be with kind of just dealing with this, waiting for a chance to take off?
Yeah, if he says so. I don't know. I really haven't talked to him. I never think that any good players are patient. I've always thought all the best players are always impatient because they want it to happen yesterday, let alone tomorrow. But I think he's been patient with all the crap he's had to go through. But I don't think he's unbelievably patient, just waiting his time, because he's not happy where he is right now. And if he was happy, then we wouldn't be very happy. So.
Hey, Coach, you've asked the question before with teams that if there's like one possession left, you need a stop or a score, which one would you rather have? Where do you think this team would fall?
Right now, I would say, I'd rather be up 1 and they have the ball than probably down 1 and we have the ball right now. But the good teams are ones that can handle both. And like some of the best teams we had, it wouldn't have made us much difference either way. I don't know that our execution late game and then our ability to make shots when we don't run offense, I think is still a big key. Like who can just break a guy down and go make a basket. So there's some things that we got to definitely get better at.
All right, Coach.